for a start, before I tell anything else, just 1 minute with your neighbor there. Please have a discussion about what has been the most beautiful or inspiring or getting higher thought today. Just a minute or two with your neighbor. You can share it with some others around you. Please find someone. Okay. Tell me some of those, which has been the most beautiful or inspiring or getting higher thoughts today.
Something I heard and that inspired me a lot. That's the question.
Yeah.
So, I am more than my inner child that had made all the experiences that still dominates my life.
Okay. Thank you. Something else?
Just a question that first indeed that if we are so patient with us as we are with the others. That's magnificent.
Yes, I can.
To the point that I don't know to say the words in English. Vale sempre a pena que a alma não é pequena.
Everything is worth what she means.
Okay.
When our soul is not little, everything is worth.
Okay. Something else?
Find what's true for yourself, not just go for the what is scientifically proven. Just find what's true for yourself.
Yes. I don't know about this title, but maybe something about this good life or good working life. I'm a psychotherapist in Finland and training psychotherapists and supervisors and coaches. And our legal system is very straight, so you have to do so many things to get that. And my official license comes from solution-oriented psychotherapy. It's maybe the only country in the world who does it like that. Because in some other countries, the solution-focused, solution-oriented things are under the systemic therapies or wherever. And because I never wanted to be a simple therapist, I got 3 psychotherapy trainings, just make sure. So I have solution-oriented therapy and then NLPt psychotherapy training, and then narrative therapy training in Australia with Michael White. And it's so beautiful to combine all these things, so I don't know what I'm doing and where sometimes. I'm so old, I have been in these kind of things so long time. And I'm working quite a lot now, this time, with people who has difficulties in working life. We have a very big project in Finland with our social and health ministry, how to get people to come back from the long time vacation free for if you are sick. They can be at home half a year or 1 year or even 2 years, and how to get back from that, or how to stay in working life longer, because so many young people under 30 years old, they are getting retired in Finland for depression and things like that. So we have quite a great project in Finland, and I'm part of that nowadays. That's why I have been thinking these things so much. One of my universities in my life has been living together with my mother-in-law and father-in-law, and in the same house. And I'm master of that. My father-in-law died 2 years ago. He was 93. And in the springtime, when I saw him, because in Finland we have snow on the fields. He was a farmer and he loved farming. And in springtime, when the snow was going down and you could see these fields, part of the fields there, I saw what happened to my father-in-law. His eyes were going around and he was like very restless, and he wanted to walk around, and because he was waiting when he can go to the fields. He was so enthusiastic to do the work and go to the farming things, and he couldn't wait. And he was 93. And he was never tired, never burn out, and he was working, I don't know how much, because maybe, I don't know, from 10 to 20 hours per day, all the time. And he was so happy. And I was amazed, what is happening? Why, how is this possible? And he was in Second World War, and he had very bad injuries and pain all the time, all these years, all these 50 years. But still, he was so happy and loved to drive tractor. And when he was 93, it was a little bit difficult because the tractors are quite big. So we have to help him to the tractor because he wanted to work. And we let him to do that until the injuries are smaller than the work. So he was working, maybe he stopped maybe 1 week before he died. So he was happy to do that, and he loved that. And I remember his eyes when he was looking to the fields and something was happening. I could hear and see that what was happening. He was so happy. And after that, I have been thinking, what is happening? And how is it possible to experience something same? I'm not yet 93, but not so far. So I have been thinking, what is my life after 20 years or something? And that's why there was the little thing that if I'm imagining myself in a best possible position in my life when I'm 93, for example, what could it be? And what have been important to me so that I can feel the same enthusiasm like my father-in-law. And what can I do to myself and with other people with that? We have so many theories, so many things, and so many products and so many therapy trainings and modalities and whatever. And I have had quite a strong need to go back to basics many years. And that's why I have been studying a lot of different kind of modalities, but very near to something same. And the something same, the root, goes to USA, of course, and Milton Erickson. Because after all these studies and readings, Milton Erickson is on the top of the world men list. If I have top 10 list of the world men, best men, he's quite high there. I have been getting to know his life by DVDs and movies and books and with different things, because not techniques, but what he was actually thinking, what were the values and what was happening there. And that's why because he's not living anymore, I went to USA and met one great person who has been very near to Milton Erickson. I've been there now twice and spent 1 week with Ernest Rossi. He's originally from Italy. His father was born in Italy and now he has been working in USA all these years. He's now 84 or something. And they work together with Milton Erickson several years, and they have been making books together and so many things. That was the easiest way to get near to Milton Erickson and somehow read the spirit. What was the amazing thing what happened there? And now I think I got something. Now it's not doing anything. It was too quick and now nothing. Why? Wrong place.
But not.
Too much.
But out.
There's another. Is this the same? Miracles happen.
There's always one.
If you think about the time when Milton Erickson was living, it was quite different time. Especially how we think about people who are as a client or as a patient, and what is expertise and these kind of things. And from my point of view, he was turning the whole world in a much better position. He was a great man, and that's why I was reading a lot. Melita said that we should avoid these can we do or not things, but Milton Erickson didn't think like that we can do whatever, but he really believed in people that they have all the things what they need, but they are their own kind of things, not these things what experts or therapists or coaches think. Because I have been training many years psychotherapists and coaches, and the most difficult thing is that they learn to not to be so helpful. Because people have so warm heart and they want to help and they have dreamed profession how they can help people. And after that they tell people how they should live, what they should think, what would be better for them, and so on. And that's not working. And Milton Erickson knew that. And he really believed that people have all these things what they need. Not whatever, but things what they need to build solutions. Because you have to play with these cards what you have. You don't have any other cards. So you have to find it. But maybe our job is to help people know that they already know. I gave you some stories, good night stories, later. It's the same thing. And it's very easy to say that yes, of course. But when you look how people work with clients, it's not so easy. Because they have so many theories, so many nice things in their head, and they are trying to put their own theories on people's life. Peter was asking about normality, and that's one of those things. For us, some things can be normal, but what happens if our client is in the edge of our normality? It's much more difficult. And then the other thing was quite nice. This is nice article because Erickson was thinking that the burden of responsibility is always in the client's side. And that's very interesting thing. Because we don't need to make the solutions, or we don't need to know what someone should do or not to do. It's the job of the client to know that, to do that, to take care of that. And it doesn't mean that you don't care. It's a different thing. In that time, experts like doctors and therapists, they was thinking more that my job as a specialist is to look at you from far. Sorry, I'm using you. Look at you from far, and I need to know what is wrong with you, and I need to tell you how to fix it. And Erickson did on the other side. It's your job to get to know if there is something wrong or not, and what you can do, and what you can use, what you have inside. And that's totally different. After 3 years or after 4 years, my students start to learn this, usually. Start. This article is quite nice. There are some case examples. I explain more later. And this continues the same thing. I didn't know. My head is quite tough. How do you say in English if you are this kind of headed, wooden head or something? I need very strong learnings if I need to really learn something. And I I got a learning last summer, I will tell you. I leave that, or maybe. Usually I tell stories about my clients, and I have one client who has been teaching me a lot, and that's myself. And I will tell you one story. Those of you who knows me better, they know that I have been drinking coffee, maybe 1 or 2 liters a day, and espresso, doppio, naturalmente. And I have been smoking cigars a lot, every day. And I have been working with this Ernest Rossi. I have been doing some practices, but I didn't plan to stop these things because I love coffee and I love cigars. I didn't have that plan. But afterwards I remembered that I was concentrating very exact, very auditive and kinesthetic and visual way to a situation where I can feel the smell of Chanel 5. Chanel 5. Because I love the perfume Chanel 5. And it was very difficult to me because I loved that and I always did like that. And then when I went out and had a cigar, it disappeared. So I needed to feel it clearly. And I was concentrating on that situation several times.
Okay, Chanel.
Now I have. It was last year. And in June, in the beginning of June, one day I was in my summer house, and in the middle of the night I woke up, and I heard my, I don't know, inner voice. It was a man's voice, maybe inside me is some nice man. He told me that, don't be scared, we are using here your body. I was a little bit amazed in the middle of the night. What are you doing? Using my body. And I was trying to sleep, and then in the morning I told my husband that don't be scared, someone is using my body. And we were just laughing because I didn't know what it means. And next day I got food poisoning, quite a poisoning, and it took 3 days and everything came out. And it was awful. And after that, I couldn't drink coffee and I couldn't smoke. And I didn't want to. And I didn't know what happened. Something happened in my brain or somewhere, I don't know. And now, it was in the beginning of June, so quite many months. And I don't even remember that I have been smoking cigars or drinking coffee. That's very strange, but I'm sure that something happened inside in my unconscious mind and something that they just take care of me, inside me. And I was only concentrating on the desired state, not why or what was wrong in my childhood because I'm smoking, something, what is wrong? Why I'm doing that or why I'm that, but only the desired state, and it was the Chanel 5. Yeah. Let's see what happens. I was very worried after these 3 days when I saw that I cannot drink coffee if they are taking the red wine also, but they let it. So I can drink red wine, and it's very nice. Maybe it's healthy for me, I don't know. My second home is in Italy, so it would have been catastrophe without coffee and without Toscanian cigars and red wine. So there are limits, some limits. But seriously, it's something very strange. And I would like to know what it was exactly, because especially in Finland, people are drinking too much and smoking too much, drinking coffee a lot, and they have been asking what kind of illness it was. They would like to have the same food poisoning. Can you sell it or can you produce it? But I forgot to take these things, so I cannot produce it anymore. But it's a good question. And it comes from Milton Erickson in so many ways. To not to think about how to get there or why or what should I do, but only concentrate on the desired state in a very deep way, kinesthetic, auditive, whatever. And you all have NLP tools, so you can do it very, very effectively and deeply. And that, I don't know if you have heard about this one single session therapy discussions. Do you have this kind of discussion workshop? They have so many books and discussions in USA and in UK and some parts of Europe, and they are developing these things not only one session. It's not only one session, but it's symbolic. One session, brief therapy things. But now I have been against a little bit these discussions, but now I can understand better that there can be some situations where you can go directly to the desired state. And Milton Erickson did that. And he had so many case studies about that, how to do that. And only let the unconscious mind to do its all. Would you like to say something about this good night story? If you wake up in the middle of the night and someone says to you something,
I'll be scared to death.
It depends. What?
Post-hypnotic sayings of Milton Erickson, maybe.
Yeah, but Milton Erickson didn't use hypnosis. He was doing different things.
But he was very strong, as Judy Delosha told me, when she was studying Milton Erickson, that he was very, very good in giving people post-hypnotic sentences and people would react after this.
It was one part of his job, but later years, he didn't do so much like that. He was changing the style quite a lot. He didn't use any these kind of things anymore.
No, thank you.
Not yet. Not yet. Don't. I have a clock here. I need to stop. I just want to show just a few. Milton Erickson was very good on joyful things, and he was playing with things like you said, how to play with things. And these stories tell so beautiful things, but they were serious things, and there was a reason for that, why to play with things, and why to get joy in your life. I have been collecting some things, what he said. And you have to remember that he was living in very different culture and different time, what we are now. And then I was thinking some other historical thing. I found this Henry Ford, and he died 47. And he said like that, yeah, in his time, he was very clever. And they both, Henry Ford and Ericsson, they were like modeling the desired state. A very nice work. Let's see. I don't tell anything else about this, but I told you that my officer license comes from solution-oriented psychotherapy, and Stephen Sager was one of these persons who went to Dr. Ericsson, like Bandel and Winder and people in that time, and he was also writing about these things. How to model, how to do modeling about the desired future. We don't go there. Lipstick. Ah, beautiful. Sunny fine lipstick.
I have a
Violet.
air conditioning, it's very, very dry.
I know. That's why it's easier to speak when you have lipstick. I stop here because of the time, but I wish you very, very good winter time. Your winter is our summer, so I live here like in summertime. This is so lovely for me. Have a good night and good sleep. And nice dreams and inner voices. Thank you.